So just trying to do something different here, get both of your perspective on the so-called shift. I know, Brian, you've already spoken on it as well, but working together to understand the plan from Madeline and the staff of where you guys have to be while you're both on the field at the same time. How do you guys communicate within to know when there's a hit somewhere you got to back up and know exactly what places you guys got to be at, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it starts kind of pre-pitch. We're talking to each other, making sure that we're kind of staying, the same distance apart, making sure that if he's moving one way, that I'm moving with him, and so, so on and so forth. And then, kind of once the ball's hit, we kind of, we work on those things in spring training, where it's just being on cuts and relays and stuff. So, if somebody's, kind of not getting their spot, everyone kind of looks around and makes eye contact, and then you just, point or you yell at each other, and then like I played next to him for several years coming through the minor leagues, so me and him have good communication out there on the field, so it's just a matter of just keeping that communication going.
JT, when before practice or when you guys are during practice during spring training, like I just said, is there a different type of way to prepare for it, or a different type to practice for the shift when in those backfields during spring training?
Yeah, I mean, we go through our drills, cuts and relays and stuff.
Okay.
So we work on the ball down both lines and the gaps and everything. So, we know where to go, in positions, whether it's running out first, whether there's nobody on, whether the play's going to be at third or at home. We know where to line up if that ball's in the left center gap. We know where to go. We know the responsibility and everything, depending on where we're located in the shift.
I asked because since probably when you guys started playing baseball, there's a certain way and a certain tradition of where each player should be.
Yeah.
So it looks from another perspective a little different having you guys all over the field, right? Brian, I know you have been playing right field last season.
Yeah.
How does that help moving from third base pretty much to short right field?
Yeah, I mean, just the angles, the balls off the bat, I've kind of already seen those a little bit, and then playing some second base in college too, I've already kind of seen, how it looks off a lefty's bat. Usually, you're going to be getting lefty shift balls. So, I mean, I've already kind of seen balls off the bat, and I think that's kind of helped me just as far as adjusting to being on that side of the field as opposed to being on the third base side.
One last one here for both of you guys. Do you think the shift is taken away from the extraordinary plays that you guys are capable to do? But since you already have a plan of where you guys should be standing, the ball is going to you there, or at least the probability says that. Do you think it takes away from the extraordinary plays that we used to see from Jeter, that we used to see from Vizquel, Ozzie Smith back in the days? Do you think it takes away the shift from that?
I don't think it takes away from it. I think it's just they're happening in different areas.
Okay.
Because we're just playing in different spots on the field, but we're getting the same tough plays, either to your left or your right that you might get if you're playing your normal position straight up.
Okay.
You're still making tough plays to your left, to your right, diving that you would make if you weren't shifting.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with what he's saying, because just because the probability that a ball is hit in an area doesn't necessarily mean that the ball is actually going to be hit right there where you're looking. I mean, you look at this last series, there were already a couple plays where I think Miggy had a diver which tipped off his glove, and then he also had a line drive that he jumped for, and he was not in the spots that he would normally be in. But he's still, you still have a chance at making those great plays.
Is it in any way, shape, or form a little frustrating when you see a ball that's hit to where you were supposed to be traditionally?
I mean, it's frustrating, but at the same time, when someone lines out on a hard line drive right up the middle and you catch it, it kind of works both ways.
Yeah, I mean, and you're just playing percentages. So I think that's a question, towards the end of the year that you look back on, and you'd like to see how many times if you got beat more on the shift or if you got more outside the shift.